now tuned in to the Cold Hard Truth, Cayman's #1 hard-hitting live podcast show, where we feature some straightforward conversations on political, social, and celebrity news and all things happening in the Cayman Islands and around the world. This show was created to give the people a voice and a means of being involved and informed without any filters. Sometimes it gets crazy, but we always keep it real. We bring you the tea, piping hot, so grab your favorite beverage and join the conversation via WhatsApp at 324-1612. Email tips at CaymanMarlRoad.com. Now, here's your host, Sandy Hill, broadcasting live from the beautiful Cayman Islands.
Good morning, beautiful people. Fab Friday. Happy Fab Friday. Yulissa is here. Elizabeth is here. Olivia, Barbara, Evelyn, Cy, Janet. Barbara, I agree with you 100%. I love me goosebumps sometimes. So listen, I had a rough night. I'm sure I've got bags under my eyes. The baby's not feeling too well. I think she's catching a cold. I felt her when she was going to bed and she had a bit of a temperature. So Evelyn's asking if I have court today. I don't think so. Evelyn, do you know something I don't know? Is my name on the court list and I don't even know it? I hope not. I hope I don't have court today because I am so tired. Need I check the court list? Nobody has told me that I have court today, so I'll double check that just to make sure because I don't want them issuing a warrant for my apprehension and arrest. So listen, super tired, rough night. I kind of felt a temperature. She's very, very warm when I was putting her to bed. And I thought, let me give her a little bit of something because she was super warm, right? It felt like she had a temperature. And then before that, I was at the grocery store yesterday after work and after picking her up. And I noticed that my lymph nodes just on the left side were like right in here, just really sore to the touch. So I thought, okay, that's not good. Normally that means that Normally that means that, something's going on. You're about to catch something, you're catching something, all that fun stuff. So, I'll give you guys an update here in a second. Yes. So I thought, let me go to the pharmacy. And I said, I feel this little something here. And of course, when she started to get sick last night, I said, yeah, I think we're all going to get something now. A little bit of a cold or something. So I will be having my garlic regimen, which I do often once I feel, normally for me, any sort of flu or cold starts in the throat. I don't know why that is. And so that's the first sign for me that something is coming my way. Or another sign that I've noticed is if I am super tired beyond recognition and I have to sleep like all day long, then I know that my body's trying to fight something. So yeah, I look tired, Evelyn. I'm just like, she was up a couple times and turning and twisting and woo, let me tell you. Okay, Evelyn, I'll double check the court list just in case because I appreciate it. But I think I told you guys that we had a trial date set for the end of October and early November in summary court. And I have since decided that I believe that the Caymanian people are in a better position to decide my fate this time around on these particular issues with Mendoza and with some other show that I was doing that now they're claiming because we were reporting on something that we were harassing someone by reporting. This government is absolutely ridiculous, folks, and they are going long and hard. And I'm going to tell you about some other legislative changes that they now have on the agenda to push through coming up in the next LA session. And that's why Kenneth Bryan is going to be joining us on Monday. So please, please, please mark your calendars for Monday, because if you do not know what this government is doing and how they're going to screw you, the people, you're in a whole lot of trouble. Believe me, you. They are really something else. So yes, you need to pay attention, folks. You really, really need to pay attention to what is going on here in this country. Okay, so I've got a couple messages. To update you guys on here this morning. So I'm going to have a perusal of those. But buenos dias. Good morning to all of you. Fab Friday. So yes, I will start my garlic regimen here shortly. Fresh garlic. I literally just cut up some fresh garlic and I swallow it like a tablet and get enough of that in my system over the course of a couple of days. And normally that will delay or stop completely anything that's coming my way. So we'll see. I have to remind myself, just like everybody else, continue to be vigilant. I must say, one of the wonderful things about COVID, I think so many of us were wearing masks and constantly sanitizing that we were a little bit better protected than ordinarily we think about. So we have to continue to do those things. So big shout out to Danica in Jamaica. She's our regional correspondent. She had a bit of a rough day yesterday. She's not feeling too well, but I'm hoping that she's going to have a better day today and hopefully a Fab Friday. Yeah. So last night, I'm sure you guys saw this on the Mall Road that we reported about one of these gifting circles that finally went belly up after 3 months. I had no idea they'd been going on for that long, to be quite honest. This group had about 200 people in it. And as we predicted, it was only a matter of time before that happened. And all of them will eventually come to the exact same fate, despite the fact that people are convinced that this group was being mismanaged. This is not even a question of mismanagement. This, my friends, is simply a question of when is the bottom going to drop out of the bucket? You know, the saying that we have in the Cayman Islands, you take the bucket to the well every single day, and one day the bottom is going to drop out. Well, the type of pyramid scheme this is, as with all pyramid schemes, actually, the bottom has got to drop out sooner or later. Sorry. And in this case, it dropped out yesterday when a message was sent to some persons in the group, basically saying that they were going to bring the group to an end. Oh, somebody just sent me a very sad message this morning about someone who recently passed away. That was related to them. But yes, so, you know, it's really only a matter of time. And I know that people who are in the other groups are remaining faithful that they will be the exception, that this isn't going to happen to them. You know, they're going to be okay. Their group will be managed differently. And I want to make it very, very clear. This has absolutely nothing to do with management. So it doesn't matter how you manage this group. This is just a matter of when will people stop investing in my group? And the day that that happens, when I mean people, I mean you stop getting new people on board, then that means that the bucket has fallen out and you're done for. And people who are sitting back, I mean, I cannot believe the number of people who are saying, oh, you know, I will make contact with the authorities. The police are going to, you know, this is going to be reported to the police. Take my word for it. The police are not in a position to help you. They gave you sufficient information to help yourselves. They keep warning you all time and time again about these scams. And so I think if you go to the police now, and I know that some police officers, I understand, were actually involved in some of these scams, this pyramid scheme. So they had bought into it. So what I would say to you now is if you go to the police and you tell them that you were one of those persons, they will not be in a position to help you, unfortunately. And it is what it is. You cannot expect to not be smart and then turn around and have someone bail you out. And there is nothing the police can do. And I want to make this very, very clear because I think sometimes people forget. The police cannot save you from yourselves, folks. The police cannot arrest you from yourselves. And so you need to make a concerted effort to do the right thing. Be smart about not falling for scams and scammers. It is part of your responsibility to carry out your due diligence when people come to you with their shenanigans. And so this is a perfect example. And of course, you know they want to blame us, right? I want you guys to listen to this voice note that we're going to play here in a second. They always want to blame us. They always want to say that this is somehow our fault. We have created mass panic in the community about this. Well, all we have done is educated a few people who may not have been aware of, you know, what is going on to make them know that this can't work. I had people privately messaging me, asking for my advice. And I was saying, listen, I want you to think logically about what you are engaging in and what you're thinking about getting involved in, and explain to me how it's going to work logically. How are you going to get this money? And every one of them said, well, it doesn't make any sense. And I said, well, honey, if it doesn't make sense, if you cannot figure out the math, if you cannot explain the math, then why are you thinking this is going to work? If it doesn't make any sense, that means it's illogical. The other red flag here, folks, is when you see any sort of a situation where someone is promising you a substantial return on your money. And this happens more times than I can count. Everyone is like, oh, you're going to become a millionaire overnight. No, you're not. You're not going to become a millionaire overnight. You're not going to have tons of money. It's just what it is. So yesterday, right before going on to the evening show, we had a number of persons contact us. They are part of these groups. And they have said, this one has gone belly up. And I thought, right, not surprised. Why would I be surprised? I was saying from Sunday, folks, this is exactly what's going to happen. So let's have a little look at why these schemes do not work. This is the premise, and I'm going to just take myself out of the screen. Okay, sorry. I thought that you could still hear me because it said that my mic was on. Um, hmm, that's strange. I'm supposed to, in theory, be able to remove myself. Okay, sorry. There we go. I'm supposed to be able to remove myself from the screen, and you should still be able to hear me, but maybe I've just done that wrong. All right. So here we go, folks. So the situation that we have here is this is how supposedly it works. So again, they're talking about, gifting, circles, flower. These are all very cutesy words to try to get you engaged in the process to buy into this. Because if they said you're about to be scammed, this is a scamming circle, which would have been the truth, that would not have convinced you to invest your money. So they tell you that you gift $500, your $500 circle closes, and you're gifted $4,000. Now tell me, in your opinion, how do you go from $500 to $4,000? You explain the logic to me. How exactly is this going to work? It can't work. The only way that it works in the short term is you have individuals who keep recruiting down at the bottom. They keep bringing in new people, and those new people are then paying in to the scheme. And it is the money that you're generating from those new individuals, right, folks, that allow the other folks to get a payout. And the second those numbers drop, or the second those numbers stop, then you've got a problem. And we're going to look at exactly how this is a perfect example of what will happen and why you will indeed have a problem. All right. Okay. So week 2, they're talking about your $2,500 circle closes and you're gifted $20,000. You receive $14,000 up front and re-gift $6,000 as outlined in your gifting instructions. None of this makes any sense to me. You become a fire in the $6,000 circle. What does becoming a fire mean? What is that even? This is like nonsensical talk. Okay? But the number 8 is the most important thing. You have to continue to share this opportunity with like-minded people. What that means is you have to find other gullible people to get into the circle, into the flower, or whatever we're going to call it, in order for this to continue to work. Otherwise, it doesn't work. There's nowhere for the money to come from. Now, this particular group that went belly up, apparently she was taking, so it's not really a $500 circle, it's a $400 circle, and she was taking $100 as a fee. Okay, this is interesting. So her $500 fee, $100 came out in order for her to fill out some paperwork. Now let's look at what the paperwork looks like, by the way. So this was the paperwork that she sent us saying, this is what you signed, and I cannot read it, to be honest. I can't make it out. It was too fine of a print. But this is what you signed in order to join up for this scam. Again, this is one of the things that they try to do to make it look legitimate. And when it looks legitimate, you are more likely to believe it than not. And so she charged $100 for you to sign a piece of paper. She was pocketing that $100. That's $100 hard, cold cash for her. Goes in her pocket, and then your $400 goes into the circle. Now, when the persons contacted us, it was because of this message here. And this message says, check this out. Basically, what she is saying is that you all, whoever was in this group, have not brought in enough people. And the people that you have brought in right, are unable to maintain the circle. And so guess what? We are done. So they claim, of course, they always want to blame other people. So there's been a lot of negative information, but not inaccurate information, circulating regarding this gifting program. Well, I understand there's more than one gifting program, so this one might have had about 200 people in it, but there are more than one on this island, and some of them are continuing. As a result, more than 90% of the flowers that were split over the weekend are incomplete. Missing fires, she says. What does that mean? Can anyone explain this logic to me? All right, she goes on to say, this gifting program has been entirely dependent on new fires in order to continue. Folks, that's what I've been telling you guys from day one. Of course it does. That's the whole point of a pyramid scheme. If you do not have new inductees, fires, whatever you want to call them, it will not work. Of course. You need new people constantly coming in. So then she says, unfortunately, this means we will have to discontinue with the program, despite the fact that we all entered with an understanding of what a gifting, and she puts that in capital letters this time, program entails. Okay. So now she's setting you up to understand you can't call the police because they're not going to help you. There are still persons requesting a refund of that gift. Please note that there's no guarantee that anyone will receive a refund. Well, there was no guarantee you'd ever not only not receive a refund, but that you'd ever make any money. She goes on to say, however, those persons that gave a gift but did not receive any gifts may attempt to contact their gifted person. Please review your receipt to see who, and that gets cut off. I'll read you the rest of it. It says, to see who, let me see here. Who your gift was given to. And the contact number for that person is available. So here's what she tells you now. It's your job. The contact number for that person is available on WhatsApp. So as you can see, a few people right after she sent this message started leaving WhatsApp because they don't want anybody contacting them. Say you brought in 10 people. That's 10 people now contacting you for their $500 back. Kindly note that all admins served only to coordinate the flow of this program and is not responsible for any refunds. You must contact your gifted persons yourself. Anyone with a desire to continue in this program may do so on their own accord. Well, what a fool you'd be. However, these flowers will be closed officially and deleted on Friday, September the 25th, that's today, at 5 p.m. We're all affected by this, she claims, and we're truly sorry for any inconvenience. We wish you all the best and stay safe, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. With warm regards, admin. And the administrator of this program, let me show you who she is. The administrator now her name is Jackie Smith, and she reached out to us. So this is Jackie. I'm going to pull her up on screen. Okay, good. So you guys can still hear me now. Just figure out how to do it correctly. So this is Jackie. And Jackie has a couple things to say. So good morning to Louie. Hi, Kathy. Irvlyn. So Karen says, I don't understand where they get all this free cash to give away. It's not free cash. It is coming from the people who are investing in at the bottom. And those persons investing in at the bottom are now the very same people who have lost their money. So they are out of money. And you can imagine, listen to me, if you brought in 5 people, if you brought in 10 people, I hope you didn't bring in 20 people, because if you did, you are absolutely up shit creek without a paddle, as they say. You are in a world of trouble, folks. You seriously are in a world of trouble. And this is not good. Because where are you going to find the money? Let's understand what is going on here now. Where will you be finding the money from in order to pay back? Let's do the math. If you got 5 people that you brought in at $500, that's easy enough. You owe them $2,500, folks. This is money that you have already given in to this gifting circle, gifting program, friends and family. So where are you going to now turn around and get $5,000 from to refund people? So you notice how absolutely stupid her comment is? That if you gifted to, let's just take Karen, for example. Karen and Irvlyn and Louie and Kathy are all in my group, right? And yes, Flashpoint, to me, the wording was obvious, but not to everybody. So Kathy, Louie, Karen, and Irvin, let's pick one more, Jonathan. The 5 of you are you're my recruits, essentially. So that's what they mean when they talk about, what was the fancy word that she used here? Like I said, it's so nonsensical. Like it really doesn't make any sense. So you are all my, is it flowers? Oh God, I can't even make sense of it, to be honest. It's so incredibly. I guess you're my gifted person. So you gift it up to me, and then I give it to the likes of her, and you will never see your money again. So I guess you're my gifted person. Is that the right term here? But anyway, I collect the money. I've recruited you in. The problem is I'm not keeping the money. I'm giving the money to this so-called administrator. And notice what she says here. The administrators now will take no responsibility. They will take no responsibility for this. And instead, what she's now telling you is go to the person that you gave the money to. Well, Louie, Kathy, Karen, and Irvlyn, and Jonathan, why would you be coming to me? I didn't keep your money. So even that doesn't make any sense. You're coming to me because of what? This comment here, Trinidad, the Susu BS is a big scam business. So I'm not surprised that this is happening. Well, let me tell you something. I think I explained this on Monday, I believe it was, that we had this discussion. It's really, really important to know and to understand that, in fact, what this is not a Susu. So a Susu is the equivalent of a partner. And that is not what this is, folks. This is not a partner. The difference with a partner is a partner, which we have all been familiar with here in the Cayman Islands, Even those are technically illegal. The police will not help you if you lose your partner money. However, in a partner, what you put in is what you get out. So if everyone agrees to put in $500 a month for 10 months, okay, you're month number 2. At month number 2, you are going to be withdrawing $5,000. That's how a partner works. So unlike this situation, and a Susu is just like a partner, unlike this situation, you're only putting in $500 and you're still hoping to get $5,000. And the way that it works, the premise on which it works, is that other people will be making up the rest of that $5,000. And that is exactly why it does not work. So then everybody can read this message, right? This is Jackie. Now look at what she says to us last night. Tell me, folks, is this not different than what she is saying now? So last night she's claiming, after the story went up, that message, although I see she has a massage, but that's okay. We know English is not her first language, so we're going to excuse that. That message was for people that didn't bring in their invites. And I'm not running from nobody. I'm here on island because one of the people in her group said that they understand that she's actually leaving to go to the UK next month. And she says, and it's not a scheme because a lot of those people got their money. Well, I don't know what your definition of a lot is, but a lot of people also are not going to be getting their money. And this is the problem. All right. So now she's starting to contradict herself. Oh, that message wasn't for everyone. Let's look at the message again. Good day, everyone. Sounds like it's meant for everyone to me. And in addition to saying good day, everyone, she goes on to say what exactly? That it's coming to an end. She is going to be closing it off. You know, this is what's going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So now the story has changed. Now it is a situation of, oh, no, it's not meant for everyone. Well, I'm confused because the message here that I'm reading is addressed to everyone. And it clearly says that as a result, more than 90% of the flowers that were split over the weekend, which I don't know how many that is, but 90% of your group, let's assume that's what she's trying to say, is a lot of people. So if 90% of your group are incomplete, missing fires, I'm assuming that means that people are not paying in, then that message is meant for 90% of the group, but you're going to continue working with the 5%. That's a lie, folks. That is a bold-faced lie because look at what she says towards the end. You can't see it in this one, actually, but I have the rest of the message where it says read more. She actually does say that this is going to come to an end and that today she's actually going to be closing out the WhatsApp group. Not only is she going to be closing out the WhatsApp group, but what she has actually done, all right, folks, is she has actually stopped people from communicating with her. So the second this message went out, all of a sudden she locked down the group and you could no longer message her. Because once you create these groups like this, the administrator has control over the group. So if the administrator says, I'm locking the group, you see what it says? Only admins can send messages. She did that. She changed that. So if it only applied, as you're now claiming, that this message was only for those who didn't pay, why are you blocking everyone from contacting you? Why are you blocking everyone from being able to call you? So people are calling, people are messaging. She's not taking any phone calls. She's not taking any messages. She wants no contact with you, despite the fact that you have invested in her flowers, friends, and friends and whatever group. Let's look at what else she said. In case you missed the memo, folks, it's called, according to her, family and friends, because everyone that joined invited their friends and family, and some of their families received the money. So the person who they gifted is the person who has to give them back their money because they invited them and received their money. That makes no sense at all. Because when you receive their money, you are not keeping their money. You are giving it into this pool, this administrator, and then she is distributing that money to whoever is supposed to get a payout that particular day. Right? And so now she's all mixed up with how it really works. So because you collected the money, you become responsible for giving the money back. But didn't she also say earlier that everyone knew how this worked and there was no refunds and no guarantees? Well, if there's no refunds and no guarantees, how the heck are you going to get a refund from the person who invited you into the circle? You see how it really starts to make no sense at all? And then she says, I'm not leaving the island. And at a point, I'm willing to pay some of these people. And I'm not running nowhere. And I'm not the only one who is doing this. Well, we never said you were the only one. That's for sure. There are many more gullible people out there who are involved in these groups. Now let's listen to what they said in a voice note after our first article went up on Sunday. So this now is where they're trying to blame us here in the Cayman Islands for their poor decision making. Of course, it is illegal to gamble, and that's why even a partner, the police have said, is gambling. And so when you come to them about help me, so-and-so in our partner group has stole our money, they said, no, we cannot help you because that is illegal. And we cannot protect you when you make a decision to get involved in an illegal scam on your own. So here we go, folks. Good morning, beautiful Marcia. Thank you for your greetings this morning. Lisa's tuned in from Little Cayman. So let us listen to, Cayman Brac, my apologies. Let us now listen to the voice note. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull this out for you guys to listen very carefully for how they wish to blame other people for their poor decisions. It's always somebody else's fault.
Your cousin Ma Road is talking out of her ass as usual. I even made sure to call one of my police friends, and he in turn called his financial crime police friends. They didn't get back to him in time, so he called SEMA himself, and they said there's nothing wrong with what we are doing. Even after that, I had my daughter, who works at the police station with the police, call one of her higher police friends and ask him, and he says, no, it is not illegal. She had just come from having a conversation in the police station with a sergeant who also said, no, it is not illegal. So I don't know what's going on. Because what she did when she called her higher up sergeant friend or the inspector or whatever he is, she said, somebody invited me to join. I'm thinking about joining, but I wanted to make sure it was on the up and up before I joined. And he said, no, there's no problem with you joining, da 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 da. So, yeah, I don't know where Sandra getting her information from, but I have checked all my resources in every avenue I can to see if anything going down, and everybody coming back with a no, it's not illegal. So, I don't know.
All right, folks. So let's pick sense from nonsense here. Because this don't make no damn sense. So first of all, she says, all right, folks, let me just pull back in here. All right, so let us pick sense from nonsense here. So first of all, she says that they asked the police and they ask a sergeant. Well, maybe he's not a sergeant. Maybe he's an inspector or whatever he is, a higher up. All right, so we all know that asking someone in the police force about something does not make them an expert on it. You would think that all police officers would know. Even this person, her daughter works in the police force, she says. You would think her daughter, even working at, I don't know where the daughter works, but even if she's a receptionist, she should know that this type of scam is obviously illegal because, again, it is akin to gambling, and gambling in the Cayman Islands is illegal. If a partner is illegal, and a partner is where you put in all the money that you're going to get out, how can this, which is not even a partner, not be illegal? Come on, folks. So not only is it illegal, but that wasn't really the point of the article that we posted before this voice note went out. We weren't talking about the legalities of it. Yes, pyramid schemes are illegal, but people fall for them every single day. The most important point that we were trying to make is that you are about to be scammed here. Whether you think this is legal, illegal, or whatever, it really doesn't matter. You're about to be separated from your hard-earned money. And that, my friend, is the point. That is the whole point of why you want to stay away from a scheme like this. So it's not a matter of, oh, somebody's going to come and arrest me for something because this is illegal. This is about, listen, we are all living hand to mouth right now. This is COVID. Do not throw good money after bad. That is the point here. But when you go to a police officer and you say, officer, is this illegal? And the officer says to you, no, it is not. Shout out to Ricardo watching us all the way from the Philippines. Thank you so much for joining in. Who are you going to believe? A police officer who sometimes gives you a traffic ticket and he doesn't even know if he's doing it right? So it's supposed to make you feel confident that someone has spoken to a higher up. You don't even know who now. It went from being a sergeant to being an inspector or something. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know. And not only did we check with the police, we went to SEMA. What does SEMA have to do with this? SEMA is the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. What do they have to do with this? I've checked with the police and I've checked with SEMA, and neither of them would ever tell you, the people of the Cayman Islands, that this is not illegal. They would never endorse it in any way. So if she spoke to some foolish sergeant who told her there was nothing wrong here, well, I hate to tell you, but he gave her wrong information. But this isn't the point of it being legal versus illegal. Nobody's probably going to haul you off to jail. Although we did report 2 days ago when we contacted the police to say, hey, are you guys going to make a statement about this? What are you going to say? What's going on? The only thing that they said, and I want you guys to listen to me ever so carefully. I'm going to read this message in its entirety, because this is actually very, very important. Give me 1 second here. This is Mr. Derek Baines of the RCIPS. And Mr. Baines had the following to say on, this was Monday morning. By email, Mr. Baines said, having checked with my financial crimes unit here, I can confirm that we are working with our law enforcement partners in the FBI US to investigate predicate offenses that took place in the US involving a suspect and associated companies located here in the Cayman Islands. Nothing further can be said at this time. The investigation is live and ongoing. All I asked him is, we are doing a story on the latest pyramid scheme to hit the Cayman Islands with a vengeance. Not sure if you've heard about it, but any thoughts? And that was his response, folks. So do you understand what the police commissioner is actually saying? He is saying that there's an active investigation with financial crimes, and the FBI in the United States of America are involved in an active investigation. So tell me, folks, you tell me. You hear something like that, okay? This is what they said. And let me just bring this as the full quote here, right? So you hear this coming directly from the RCIPS.
Someone is at the main office.
And you are going to sit back and believe a voice note where someone claims that they heard from their daughter's supervisors. Let's listen to the voice note again.
Cousin Marwood is talking out of her ass as usual.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know who this person is on this voice note. But not only are we not talking out of her ass, and she says as usual, if that was the case, 97%, our rate of 90% being accurate 97% of the times means that you should run to the hills, because as usual, we are almost 100% correct or 97% correct. So yes, we're talking out of her ass, she says, but she doesn't stop there.
Well, I even made sure to call one of my police friends, and he in turn called his financial crime police friends. They didn't get back to him in time, so he called Steve.
All right, so I called a police friend, and then a police friend, this is like, what's it called? Chinese telephone. I called a police friend, and then a police friend turns around and calls financial crime. Oh, they don't get in contact with him in time. So then he goes to SEMA. Listen to the rest of the conversation. Himself, yes.
There's nothing wrong with what we are doing.
Now, SEMA says to him, there's nothing wrong. Who at SEMA do you think he spoke to?
Even after that, I had my daughter, who works at the police station with the police, call one of her higher police friends and ask him.
All right, so we verified it through a police friend and through your daughter who works at the police station. So now she's going to call the police force and speak to one of her higher ups, it says.
He said, no, it is not illegal. She had just come from having a conversation in the police station with a sergeant who also said, no, it is not illegal.
So we've spoken to an inspector, a sergeant, we're not sure who yet.
Illegal. So I don't know what's going on, because what she did when she called her higher up sergeant friend or the inspector or whatever he is, she said, somebody invited me to join. I'm thinking about joining, but I wanted to make sure it was on the up and up before I joined. And he said, no, there's no problem with you joining. Da, 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 da. So
there's no problem with you joining, she claims the police said. Seriously? Well, I tell you what, whoever that police officer is, if he's a supervisor, inspector, whatever, and they actually did somehow condone it, then I would say that person needs to also be educated as a member of the police force. Because he should have never told anyone that. And I don't know whether he told anybody that or not, because you see how far gone this story is. I called a friend who called a friend, couldn't get the friend. So then they called somebody at SEMA, God knows who. And then my daughter works police. She spoke to, I don't know if it was an inspector, a sergeant, but she said she spoke to somebody higher up. And that person gave her good advice or good information. Clearly not, folks. Clearly not. The reason why they have to use a term like gift, Marcia, is because when the bottom falls out of the bucket and you go back now and want your money back, they're going to say, no, 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 no. It's a gift. You know, you can't be an Indian giver. When you give a gift, you can't expect anything in return. That's the reason why they're using that terminology. Because that piece of paper that you guys signed, that she charged you $100 to fill out, that piece of paper, I'm sure, is saying that the administrator of this takes absolutely no responsibility. You are giving a gift, and when you give a gift, in fact, you have no expectation of anything in return. That's why they can tell you you assume all risk on your own shoulders. Sai says, yes, well, it's making sense now. I'm glad it's come full circle to make sense, because I don't know what was going on and why, hello, Mr. Andy, why we were confusing people. But it is a scam. It's called a pyramid scheme, but a pyramid scheme is a scam. There are no two ways about it. So it is what it is, folks. I don't know exactly how many people are out of money right now, but there are some circles that are continuing, and they will continue because people remain as gullible as ever. I mean, people see something happening right under their noses, and they're still going to tell you that is not going to happen to me. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You cannot save some people from themselves. And unfortunately, that's what it is. And they will figure it out. You know, some people are kind of selfish too, though, because they're like, listen, I just want to get my $500 back. So even if I only get one payout and then I lose, who cares? Here's the problem. If you have invited your friends and family into this shenanigans, this scam, although legally they cannot request the money back from you. I mean, they can request it, but legally there's nothing they can do about it. Nobody can sue you to get the money back. This is still unbelievable. You have just taken hard-earned money from people and put in a scam. And then when the bottom falls out, it's like, oh, wow. So too bad for you guys. I got my money. I'm good. So this is a problem, folks. This is a problem. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Gina. Yes, Karen, being a thief and a fraud is also illegal, but you might find that a lot of people do not know that. Even police officers, they're not experts in the law. Thank you, Darlene, for tuning in. She says in her law enforcement training, they always told us that if it looks too good to be true, then most of the time it is not true. Common sense, folks, is not as common as we think, because everything about this speaks to the fact that something is wrong here. It doesn't make any sense in terms of the math. It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. The confusing terminology. So, what you're gonna do, honestly, what you're gonna do is be smarter with your money. $500 can pay your CUC bill. It's a portion of your mortgage, folks, right? We are in the midst of a crisis, a pandemic. We do not know right now what the future holds. We do not know if government will have to let people go. Civil servants think that they feel awfully safe at the moment. So do not take $500 of your money and gamble with it in a situation like this, where the people who are involved as administrators don't even have a clue themselves what is going on. Hi, Ingrid. And the worst part about this is on Sunday, when we put up the first article, we actually demonstrated how this is something that had been going around the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, and in one instance, over 1,200 people in Trinidad were left holding their own bag, empty bag, no cash in the bag. And we put all of these things in the article, and there were still people who were sending out this stupid voice note about, what did she say we're doing? We're talking out of our ass as usual. Well, honey, you need to do some research. We are more than aware of exactly what we were talking about. We did the research. We saw what had happened in other jurisdictions. Dominica, Trinidad and Tobago, BVI, those were just a few that were recently in the news about this blessing loom. It's called different things, but the premise is always exactly the same. So don't come crying to the police now that you've lost your money. I'd be interested to know when her daughter invests in this, because it sounds like her daughter was already in it. She's in it. And she goes to that same police officer after she has lost her money. Is he now going to say, well, since this wasn't illegal, we, the police, can build a case against these administrators and take them to court and try them for something? They might be able to take them to court because what they're doing is illegal, but you ain't getting your money back. This is not a situation where this was a legal transaction. So yes, there are times when it's illegal and they'll take the person to court. There are other times the police are just not going to bother. They're like, you should have known better. So, Marcia, we don't know what the police said because that voice note is so mixed up with a bag of chips. Ask someone in financial crimes. Oh, they didn't get back to them. So then they went to SEMA, and then her daughter asked somebody. I don't know if it's a commission, if it's the inspector or the sergeant or who. Come on, really? John is thanking his lucky stars that he didn't fall for it. Who else just said that they were invited in and thank God they didn't? Dominique says thank God he didn't fall for it. Jonathan, you're right. Their money would have been better spent investing in some CUC shares. Yes, Karen, that's exactly what they're saying. They will take no liability for when you lose your money. Irvlyn says she's learning so much here. Well, thank God. I'm glad. So look at this article now in Trinidad. The pyramid scheme is crumbling, it says. 9 people, including a member. Hold on, let me pull up the article because we want to read this. This sounds juicy. So this is a newspaper out of Trinidad, looks like. Actually, this is Guyana. Guyana's most trusted news. Well, let's see what they have to say. I'm just on their website here. Let me see if I can find it. All right. So they have reported on this multiple times. How many times? Hold on. So when people think that we're trying to pick on people here, listen to me. This is a newsworthy story for a reason, good folks, because people are losing their money left, right, and center all over the place. Here we have it. Another media house out of Guyana. They cover both Guyana and Trinidad news. They have written about this no less than 4 times recently. All right. First article, 1,272 people scammed as pyramid scheme crashes. Next article, Trinidad cops to return some of the 22 million seized from the pyramid scam. That was 2 days ago. So the National Security Minister in Trinidad said the investigation into the multi-million-dollar pyramid scheme will be a complex one and issued a warning for persons to stay away from this fraud. So they recovered some of the money. Now, I don't know how much that is. 22 million sounds like a lot, but I'm guessing, I don't know what that is in US or whatever. I guess that's TNT dollars. The next article, Trinidad cops bust $1 million pyramid scheme, boxes of cash seized. So that picture that you're looking at right there, let me pull it up. And the other photo here, that's money, folks. So tell me something. Who is actually getting rich here? The people who are putting in their hard-earned money, it's going in a box. So it looks like to me that some of these people who are getting your money are not even putting it back in the supposed gifting circle. If they were, how is it possible that they've got boxes of it stashed somewhere? What are they stashing it for? Now, Are you guys paying attention? Because I want you to hear this loud and clear. All right. Nine people, including 9 people, folks, including a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, were held yesterday morning during a police operation. And you're relying on the police to give you information. No. They're not the ones to rely upon. Here in the Cayman Islands, I know for a fact that some of the people involved are police officers, senior customs officers, and they don't understand their responsibility to follow the law, first of all, but also to set an example for the people that work under them. So when you work in the police force or customs and you see one of your supervisors or superiors getting involved in something like this, you think, well, if they're doing it, surely they're not going to jeopardize getting arrested. They're not going to jeopardize losing their good jobs. So they must know what is going on. That's what you think. And I'm warning you, folks, don't fall for it just because your supervisors are doing it. Maybe they can afford to take the chance. Maybe they can afford to lose their jobs. You cannot afford to do it. So this is a prime example of that. A member of the TNT Defense Force Darlene, you can imagine trying to get so many people into it that they'll say to you, oh, somebody else will pay the money on your behalf. So now you've entered into a loan. You borrowed money from someone to get into a scam. What sense would that make, Darlene? Thank you for having common sense. Yes. Look at the bags of money here, folks, that are in this picture. Let me pull up a full screen of the picture so you can see. They've got envelopes on the sofa and boxes full of money. Be careful, my good people. Be careful. None of this is worth it. So in Trinidad, they're making arrests already. I don't know if the RCIPS will be making any, but I dare say that you need to be cautious. The police have said the business was a pyramid scheme. Wow. Unbelievable. Search warrant executed at a house. Police detained 10 people for questioning after a large quantity of cash was found in the house, and no one was able to give any reasonable accounts as to how the cash was obtained. It was kept in several boxes throughout the home. Some of the cash was hidden, with money being found in the roofing of the apartment. Lord have mercy. As well as in an empty tank. Why would you be hiding all this money if it wasn't illegal, folks? Now, here's the other unbelievable thing. You know the risk that these administrators are putting themselves at? Because now that everybody knows that Jackie's an administrator, right? And she potentially got paid out over $20,000. You do the math. If she was charging $100,000 fee just to do someone's application, and that apparently she had 4 hands in this at $2,700 is what we're told. That means that Jackie Smith has a lot of cash laying around the place. Now, let me tell you something. I'm sure you guys know this already, so this should come as no shock or surprise to you. But there are criminals in our communities who know who the money people are. They know who is running numbers. And here's the thing. You cannot take that money and put it in a legit bank account because you have to fill out a source of funds to say, where did this money come from? You think you can tell them it was from a gift circle and they're going to accept your money deposit at the bank? Oh, no. Absolutely not. So now people like Jackie become targeted. Give me 1 second, folks. I've got to take a quick commercial break. I actually need to run to the restroom really, really bad. But let's do a quick commercial break here. I'll be right back after these messages.
Miracle Brokers International is a shipping, moving, and logistics company. You get all our expertise in one stop. Our motto is shop, ship, and save. All shipments are important to MBI and will track your items during shipment, clear through customs on arrival, and deliver to your door. MBI will spend the time in lines to get your cargo for you so you can be more productive with your time. Miracle Brokers, the solution broker. 345-925-5989 or miraclebrokers.com.
Thank you so much for your patience there, folks. So the National Security Minister again has told people to stay away from this scheme. This is in Trinidad. They found $22 million in cash. And he said that questions must be asked about the legitimacy of having $22 million in cash. Now, let me just hold on a second. I don't know how much that is. So let's just look up currency exchange, because that sounds like a lot of money, but it may not be. So let's say that you have 22 million. Okay, how many zeros is that? That's 22. Okay, Trinidad. What is Trinidad money called? Do we know? Trinidadian and Tobago dollar. Okay. And let's convert that then to US dollars. United States dollars. So that is, well, that can't be right. I think I have one too many zeros. Okay, hold on a second here. Hold on. 22 million. All right. So I think I've gotten it wrong here. I think I probably had too many zeros in this. So let's hold on. All right. So 22. Right. There we go. That sounds better. So now that says here that that is. Is that right? It can't be right. 22 million Trinidad dollars. United States dollar. That's $3.2 million. Wow. What? 3.237872. That's a lot of money. Lord have mercy. So the exchange rate is 1 Trinidad dollar is 0.15 US dollar. So this is over $3 million. OMG. That is a lot of money, folks. What the? No. Enough people getting paid except the ones putting in their $500. So, but geez, come and see how many people they had. Really. That 1,200 something, that's probably just a drop in the bucket. These people were running a major operation here, folks. Now, at least in their country, their Trinidad and Tobago Security Exchange Commission, as part of the central bank, it says, warned people about the pyramid scheme. Here we have had no official warning, and this is what I'm going to say next. It is no wonder that people think we're pulling out of our rear ends, because at the end of the day, right, no official source has said anything. The police haven't issued a statement. Well, they're in the middle of an investigation with the FBI. Dominique, I take your point. People have lost their lives for a whole lot less than this. So I'm sorry, but if I were Jackie, I'd find a way to pay people back their money. And anybody else involved in these scams, you better be careful. Sorry, saying I have too many computers. I actually have a dual monitor set up here. So sometimes that's why you kind of see me looking in that direction, because I'm actually looking at a different monitor. Marcia said, boy, they'd have to give me my money back. But that's still a lot of money, Louis. Even with the exchange rate, $3 million US is good money. Wow. What a mess. Jeez, some piece. Hot mess. Well, you've been warned. That's all I can tell you. One of the administrators, it says here, crashed pyramid scheme administrator breaks silence on Facebook. So you see all of their WhatsApp messages. They had over 1,200 members, and they were changing the group name. Somebody send he location. Lord have mercy. Hold on. Let me show you guys that message. Louis, thank you so much. Louis said earlier, hi, George. How are you? George from Jamaica. Nice to hear from you. Yep. George says people need to do their own research. And a partner only benefits the banker. Well, a partner makes more logical sense because what you put in is what you're going to get out. And you're not getting any more than you put in. From that perspective, a partner for me makes sense. It is just a way to force you to save money in a short period of time. You're doing it within a group of supposedly trusted friends or people that you know, sort of thing. And yes, the banker is responsible for handling the money and distributing it. Do bankers or partners normally get any kind of a fee? I don't know if they normally. I think the benefit to the bankers, they get to get their hands on the money first. So, Louis, thank you for the vote of confidence. Louis says, I depend on you to bring the truth on a daily basis, and you do not let us down even today. An eye-opener is a tough title to hold. Thank you. So Trinidad Guardian says, call it blessings, call it pyramid, call it Susu. It was a non-refundable risk. These were the words of a Bethlehem Gardens man accused of making off with thousands of dollars from a pyramid scheme called Blessings Overflow earlier this week. So this was September the 5th. In a public Facebook post, the man said the risk was taken by over 1,200 people. To join the Blessing Overflow, members were asked to contribute $700 each, and they were promised thousands in return. On Thursday, however, reports began to surface on social media, along with screenshots and voice notes from the Telegraph group that members were added to once they paid their money that the scheme had crashed. No one should be surprised by this. Let me show you what was going on in his group. Here we go. I don't know how much of that you can see, but they did the same thing. Sending messages to this group is not allowed, so they closed off the group. This group had over 1,200 members. Somebody changed the group name to that something, must be a curse word, administrator. Better hide, Anna, I swear to God. That's what they changed the group name to. I know it's kind of hard to see this up at the top. Then somebody else changed the group name to somebody send he location. Somebody must know him personally. Somebody else changed the group name to Stove Man. You better send a picture of he, Inna, and tell us where he living. So this man's life might now be in danger. And someone else changed the group name to Kazam. This is real failure, dog. You prove everything the news was talking about. So they were reading in the news and being warned about it in the news. And still, they would not believe it. You hear what a man say? You prove everything the news was talking about. Well, dude, why didn't you listen to the news? Somebody else changed the group name to once I get back my $700 in my hand, I swear to God. So people keep changing the group names because they can't actually message each other back and forth. So it's like changing the group name is a way of talking to each other. It's kind of funny though, I must say. And next guy says, or I don't know if it's guy or woman, somebody else changed it to, who is Kazam? Somebody must know him. Send some kind of information, please. Someone else said, imagine Kazam gone with we good 700. Nahi how to feel it. I need to get my Trinidad friend on here with his Trinidad accent and saying this, because I can just imagine a Trinidad saying these things. Somebody else said, I want my effing $700. I will go by the Obia man. Lord have mercy. I will go by the Obia man, and then they crossed out his name. And I put something on your name, Kazam. Now hear this. He hasn't wasted enough money on this pyramid scam. He ain't going out to the Obia man and waste some more good money for the Obia man to put something on Kazam. Oh my gosh. Honestly, you can't make this stuff up. You really cannot. All right, here's another one. Somebody else changed the group name to Telling Ya, because people take their good, hard working, I think that's the F-bomb, money, and put it in this over a F-bomb again, 1,000 and some people in. Somebody else changed it to, and the man have the audacity to tell people about non-refundable. And then the next person changed it to Kazam, like your head, effing shaking, plus I am not even in all the talk. I want my blank money ASAP. That's what all these things are that you see up on the screen. This is people changing the name because he blocked them as group administrator in WhatsApp from being able to send messages and communicating. So the way that they're communicating with each other, 53 times, you see that 53 there? They were changing the name to basically convey what they were thinking. So this next one say, I never hear none about non-refundable. So therefore, I would like to receive back my something money, because they're blanking out a lot of the profane words. Woo! This is where it's at, folks. What a hot mess. So the screenshots show the group administrator using the name Kazam, declaring that the group had crashed. After his message, the group setting was changed, preventing members from responding. Well, remember what I said to you earlier? That's exactly what this young lady did as well. So Jacqueline took a page out of the playbook from Shazam, because she did the exact same thing. Prevented members from communicating with her. I must say, this is where it's at. What a heat. Yesterday, the man whose name was again identified as Kazam posted the message on his Facebook account, and he claimed that while over 1,200 people invested in the group, only about 300 members were paid out. Well, that's a small percentage, folks. Any mathematicians in the group? Brandon, thank you for the conversion. Yes, $3.2 million US is nothing to sneeze at. Do the math for me. What percentage of 300? You got 1,200 people. So what percentage of that would 300 people do? I know that there's an easy way, percentage calculator, to pull it up, but anybody has the time to do that for me? So 300 people out of 1,200 is what percent? Hold on, Hannah. You people know. I love my technology. 300 is what percent of 1,200? Is that how we need to ask the question? So that's 25%. Yes, that sounds about right. Because it's 600 would be 50%. This is when you pay attention in math class. You would know that without the help of a calculator. But you know me and math, not really no friends. So I want to make sure I get it right. I'm going to use a percent calculator. I know, Karen, it is sad, but you got to admit that some of those comments were like funny as hell. So 25% of the people get some sort of payout. We don't know if they got the full payout or if that's just a portion. But that is no 25%. That's not a good success rate. I mean, come on. Then he says, a risk that 2,500 plus people took. It's actually less than 25%, folks, because remember the group had 21,227, so it's a little bit less than 25%. But as he says on his Facebook page, a risk that 1,200 plus people took and over 300 persons, all who have remained silent, benefited successfully from. Well, your 25% is remaining silent because that's not no money. I mean, that's no big, I mean, that's not like, oh, we can brag about 90% success, 97% success. Less than 25% is actually horrible for the number of people who actually benefited from this. He goes on to say that he was being made a scapegoat, claiming that there were 8 administrators in the group, yet still people who did not even risk their money directly with him are trying to make him a scapegoat. It was perhaps well orchestrated from within. The balance of money was repaid to as much people as feasible, many of whom remained silent. He defended himself, saying those who know him personally could vouch for his quote-unquote good name. He goes on to say, I unreservedly deny these unfair accusations that I ran away with people's money. As soon as you invested or risk your money, here how he worded it, as soon as you invested / risk your money, so it went to bless, in quotes, someone else in hopes that when you reach water, others after you would do the same. What a bunch of cockamamie. Another administrator from the group posted a video to one of her social media accounts on Thursday night showing herself crying. The video caption read, "Just pray for me, please." What a bunch. The woman is incoherent at the beginning of the video, clutching a blue towel and repeatedly saying, "Pray for Missa. Pray for me, please." And then she says, "I get everything out of my heart. I ain't no thief, nobody money. I ain't have no money. I have $0. I don't know where I getting the rest of the money from. I am praying for a miracle." So, folks, she is now praying for a miracle. I guess she believes that God is going to be dropping money in her hand after she got involved in this scam and got other people to buy into this. And like I said, you simply cannot make this stuff up. What do you think God gonna do for her now? All right. Well, she's on social media, crying, putting up a video, telling people she's no thief, right? She has no money. She continued to weep. She went out, she sent out an appeal to members from the group to stop calling her. Lord have mercy. Well, the local lady here is not answering your phone. So she not even gonna tell you to stop calling her. She just not gonna answer the phone. She lamented that she had been unable to eat or sleep, adding that all of us studying is to pay back everybody. I don't have it. If Allah want to kill me, I sorry. If Alya, oh sorry, not Allah. Alya, Alyuh, Alya. Yes. If Alya want to kill me, well, let me tell you something, folks. In Trinidad, you don't mess with people money, you know, because they will kill you. They kill you for nothing, much less. So she goes on then and begs for her life. What a foolish woman. First, she can say, if all y'all want to kill me, I'm sorry. She begged for her life, saying, don't come and kill me, please. I'm sorry. I understand everybody work hard for their money. Because in that country, you are more likely to lose your life probably than here in the Cayman Islands. What a hot mess. No, sir. Can't make it up, folks. So then she goes on to claim that a relative is going to assist her with getting some of this money back. I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Because if she not got no money, I hope that relative knows that Lord Jehovah, don't loan it to her because you ain't getting the money back. A relative is trying to get money to assist her in repaying the money, but she said none of the members are willing to wait for the repayment, as the check would take 12 working days to clear. Well, I don't know how much money she's trying to pay back, but that would be a lot. So I don't know where her family member getting the check from. She ended by saying, they set me up. Who set her up? Her own stupid self? Oh yeah, they set me up. Stop threatening me, please. Folks, take it seriously. I'm having a little bit of joke with this because I think some of it is a little bit humorous. But this is people's lives now. This poor woman, I don't know who she is, but because of a foolish choice that she has made, her life is now at risk. And that is nothing to joke about. Because as it says here, the Financial Intelligence Unit has repeatedly warned people, these things are a scam. Don't buy into them. Don't do it. And people are not listening. So I don't even know how you can blame her or any administrator, because you bought into something that you should have recognized is very much a scam. Call it whatever you want. It is a scam. Do not do it, good people. Listen to Ma Road. I don't care what that voice note says about we don't know what we're talking about. We very much know what we're talking about on this topic and many other topics. Folks, on Monday, you do not want to miss Monday's show. Remember a couple of days ago? So apparently now Jacqueline have just received word that she has blocked her WhatsApp. So you cannot call her. You cannot message her. She's probably going to go out and get a new SIM card and throw away that number. She's blocked everyone from messaging her on WhatsApp. So listen to me, good folks. This is what somebody else said. She also charged $200 if you couldn't find a person. That's $200 per person. She would find people and add under you. This is facts because my coworker paid the money and she has the receipt. So she was making good money. So let me comprehend what I just read to you. If you couldn't find anyone, because that's your job to keep the pyramid scheme going, she would then turn around and charge you $200, and she would go out and find the person for you for a $200 finder's fee. Wow. People are saying this is causing big problems. Jackie, I don't know what advice to give you, my dear friend. You were named Jackass of the Day. You've gotten yourself in a hot mess. I almost feel sorry for you and everybody involved in this, but everyone is an adult and everyone made the decision to do this. So I would be, listen, I don't like playing with people's money. I don't want people playing with my money. And if I owe tons of people money, oh my God, that would stress me out beyond. And to know that there's some people who would come and smack you upside the head for their money or worse. Of course, Jackie is probably blocking people. She's tired of all the phone calls. She's tired of getting cursed out. And you know what is amazing? Normally it's the poorest of the poor who will give their last $500 to a scam, hoping that they can make a quick buck. And that is where now this is so incredibly unfortunate, because it's not people who have money to waste. I had a girlfriend who said, well, if I lose $400, it's not a big deal. You know, because she's still working full time. She has a good job at a good corporate entity. But for a lot of people, they cannot afford to lose $500 right now. There are people living hand to mouth. So on Monday, folks, I want to warn you, we are going to go hard with Kenneth Bryan. We're going to have a look at the Legal Services Bill. They have the Legal Services Professional Development Regulation. These are coming on the table in the next sitting of the Legislative Assembly. Tell your friends to tune in on Monday, because this government, you think I'm hard on them because I don't like them. Well, maybe I don't like them because they are not for the people of the Cayman Islands. And they will sell your behinds down the river like you would not believe. Here is one example that we are going to be discussing. They're putting forward an amendment to the Judicature Amendment Bill 2020. And this is what we've just received from a concerned individual. They want a court to give a protective order for cost only to an appropriate person. And the reason we'll get into details of what this is, but remember when Shirley Rolston and the CPR group took the government to court over the port? The reason she was able to do that is because she was able to get a protective cost order. So in other words, if she loses, government is not going to go after her and hand her a bill for $1 million, claiming that they have all of these legal fees that they need to have paid back. And the reason that's important is nobody would challenge the government ever in a court of law if they knew that if they lost, and you can lose on a legal technicality, folks, just like, in fact, the CPR group did lose the appeal. Then you're on the hook for their legal fees, and they bring in these QCs from the UK, constitutional experts, charging them millions of dollars in fees. And so the government has a way of changing the legislation to ensure that you never get a protective cost order in place for a group of concerned individuals, which means that no one would ever dare sue the government. So they are about to change the rules here, folks. They're talking about an appropriate person. What does an appropriate person mean? People are concerned that this amendment will stop judicial reviews of government actions. No one will take the risk if they cannot assign cost, and that is the objective. Folks, Alden McLaughlin is an attorney. The Attorney General is an attorney. And they're putting their heads together collectively to screw the people of the Cayman Islands. And if you do not believe me, you need to tune in on Monday. The name of this program is The Cold Hard Truth. And so even when your government is screwing you in the worst kind of way, and that's the only way to describe what they're about to do to you, folks, the legal profession is about to get screwed. The average Joe in the street is about to get screwed. I need you guys to tune in on Monday. We are going to break it down for you. Now, the government has a majority, so it's very possible they could push through these legislative changes, just like years ago when they pushed through that you couldn't sue the government. Remember that one? And then that poor lady had a baby that was handicapped because of negligence at the HSA. And lo and behold, she couldn't sue the HSA because of our government putting that type of ridiculous legislation in place. Well, because of public outcry, they had to change it. And what I'm telling you right now is you need to be paying attention and there has to be sufficient public outcry. You need to be writing to Alden McLaughlin and letting him know that you do not stand for these changes and that you are going to be voting his ass out come May the 26th. Because guess what? You have the power to do it. This government can screw you when they're in power. You remove them from power, you remove their ability to screw you. So we're going to delve into it on Monday, folks. We are going to go deep and we are going to go hard over hard, the hardest. I got my little winter green alcohol here. I'm rubbing my hands, disinfecting. I can't afford to not have a voice on Monday. So garlic, honey, you know I don't drink, but hey, if I got to hit the rum bottle, Lord knows I'll be hitting it over the weekend to make sure on Monday my little tonsils are good, my voice is good, and we will break it down with Kenneth Bryan. Kenneth is coming on Monday morning, folks, 7:30. We're going to get started. Make sure you tune in. Until then, Marcia, thank you so much. Yes, lack of knowledge is a very dangerous thing. You know, there's a saying that, how does the saying go now? What you don't know, ignorance is bliss. So what you don't know doesn't hurt you. Let me tell you something. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is dangerous. The Bible says it. You are right. Lack of knowledge. You will perish because of the things you do not know. You will allow this government to continue to screw you left, right, center, back and forth, sideways, circular, whatever, because of the things you do not know. One of the reasons why they want to tell you who media is and who to listen to is because they do not like the fact that our mandate here, excuse the stuffiness, our mandate here in this show is to inform the public. And we break it down in terms that you can understand, right? We're not going to talk over your head, above your head. We want to make sure you get it. We will illustrate and give you examples of when government screws the people, they put every single one of us at risk. You, me, our children, our grandchildren, all of us need to be concerned and need to be worried. You think, oh, I'll never sue the government. You do not know that. So do not be complacent, folks. Pay attention. Now listen, if I were to tell you that on Monday's show that we are going to be discussing somebody, a man cheating on somebody and having an affair, 600 of you would be tuned into that program. Am I right? Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I need to trick you guys into listening. Not you that are here now, because you represent the 100 of you who tune in every day. You represent a core group of people who actually care about what's happening in your country. I'm talking about the other people who are not paying attention until I say something salacious. And then they're like, oh my God, Sandy's going to be talking about somebody's husband. So maybe that should be the title. I trick you into tuning in. And then it's a serious discussion about things that matter. I'm not going to trick you folks because listen, if you don't get it by now, I don't know what to say, but you better start paying attention. So Evelyn is having a good laugh at that. Karen is having a good laugh at that, but this is what I want you to do. John, you guys understand where I'm coming from. But this is what I want you to do, right? Let us create Yes, them love the mix-up stories. Let us create a blossom pyramid scheme of our own, right? Where we are going to share information. The only difference is it's legit information. You're not going to make any money off of it, but you're going to protect yourselves from your own government. So, share with 5 people. This is your remit over the next 24 days, 48 hours over the weekend. Share with people in your circle. At least 5 people. Say, I got a new pyramid situation for you. You don't have to give me any money, but tune in to the Cold Hard Truth on Monday morning, because the Legislative Assembly is trying to push through some bills on us that we need to pay attention to. Folks, it is September the 25th. Tomorrow is tomorrow is September the 26th. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 7 months left. And they are pushing through some wide-reaching legislative change. Folks, don't allow them to do it. Dominique, go get your money, my friend. Don't invest in any pyramid schemes because you are working too hard for that money. So yes, folks, invite people in your circle. I'm going to schedule the show link right after this show. Share that and tell people you've got to tune in. You need to know what is happening in your country. If you live in Prospect, Red Bay, Bodden Town, it doesn't matter where you live. You need to know why some people who are in there right now need to get voted out. Simple. Have a beautiful day, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Marcia, thank you so much. Appreciate the support from all of you. Please have a wonderful and safe weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow evening, Miss Cayman is being crowned. Oh my gosh, my sinuses are off the chain right now. Miss Cayman is being crowned. We're going to be there if we can. If I'm feeling okay, I will go. The LGBTQ community is having a fundraiser tomorrow as well. I understand that that's pretty much sold out. What else is going on this weekend? Check our community calendar. We've got a community calendar on the website. Please check that. We put all of your nonprofit and even business. There's a small fee if you're a business and want to go on there. We put all of that out for you. So be blessed. Don't be stressed. And we'll see you guys on Monday morning.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of The Cold Hard Truth. Make sure to check Facebook for showtimes and more information and the latest news at CaymanMarlRoad.com. Subscribe to our IG and Facebook pages to get the latest happenings.